Let's move to the next stage that I have over here. We talked about the vacancies right now. I'm even filtering my auction even further. I want to see that what's going on with the auction right now. We still have 3 pages. You see it's going very slow, so we can also talk about sales. Let's say I want to find the people, okay? Find those people who are being foreclosed and are going to the auction, and the property is going to be sold at the auction, okay? And they have not much time, okay? This is the stage where they're almost the most distressed, okay? They don't have enough time. Auction is already scheduled. Most of those cases have been canceled and returned to the auction a couple of times. And those owners already basically exhausted all of their resources and gave up in their mind gave up of those properties in their mind, all right? And for you to come up right now and approach them, especially properties with equity, properties that are not underwater, and try to buy them off from them the last minute is really wise, okay? If you have the ability to scan data like I'm scanning right now, you can actually scan not by daily, you can scan it by monthly. And you can start do what all sellers are doing, okay? But only specifically for people who are being foreclosed at the auction that has equity in their homes. And they came to a stage when nobody can help them. Not even title companies at some points can help them because they have so many problems they cannot resolve so quickly. You as an investor, okay, who has an understanding in how to wholesale those properties and how to satisfy the debt quickly, can take advantage of that. If you find a person at least, I would say, a week before we get foreclosed. For me, I can do it even 2 days before we get foreclosed or 3 days before we get foreclosed. I can actually buy the deed from him, then go and satisfy the debts that are against the property. So if he has a judgment with the bank and I know and I check title, I know that's the only judgment that there is against that bank, I might be even paying that judgment, or I might be selling that property and paying the judgment from the sale if I'm a quick enough wholesaler. So I have also developed a way to skip trace, okay? And skip tracing, again, it's one of the things I spoke in one of my videos, I believe. It's one of the processes when you try to find people, basically, when you try to make a contact, when you try to convey a message to a certain audience, and you want to make deal, you want to make business. You got to find a person, you want to make an offer. And this is where you skip trace that person. You basically use his first name, last known address. And that gives you his number or his family number or relative number. Or you pick up the line and you say, hey, I'm interested to buy your property, etc. Whatever speech you have. And what I've developed also a phone search ability here to actually skip trace people for free. Okay, in one of my videos I showed it. It's a website I found recently. Look for it. And what it does is basically you put your first name, last name, and it gives you a very high accuracy of that person, and it's free. So instead of me doing my skip traces with LexisNexis and Accurate and all the paid services, which cost me like 60 cents per record, I first try to find them for free, and that's the way I go. So if I click here on search phones, it's gonna go and search everybody's phones here, and I'm just gonna click over here. And one of my videos I already gave you explanation, to use this website, which is very helpful. And what it does, it just put the names, then I match the address with one of those people addresses that he found, and I cross-reference it to make sure it's the same address, the same lead, because a lot of people have the same name, obviously, right? But they don't live in the same place. So the idea would be here to find Robert Lesser, and then I don't know if I can move it. I cannot move my spreadsheet right now. Here you go, Robert Lesser, and then I can cross-reference with his address in Sunrise that he has. Okay, if you can see here, And if I find a number, that's gonna give it to me over there. So I'm going to now open this one. Let's see what it's doing. It's going to that website and it's automating my search basically. It's automating all my searches for all these people, for all these 50 people. So if I go through my auction and I say, oh wow, I like this property and I already did title search and I see there is equity in that property. Equity means that the total debt, okay, owed against that property, okay, the total debt does not exceed the value of that property to begin with. So if you have a property that you checked on the market and you say it's worth $200,000, all right, you went and you made sure you can sell it for $200,000, no question about it. And you went and you saw a person going into foreclosure and then going into the auction, and you did a title search on his property, and you see that he only owes $125,000 to his lender, and the property is worth $200,000, but he only owes $125,000 to his lender. So you have his phone number handy in the spreadsheet, and you give him a call and you say, hey, I want to buy your property. And since the time is so sensitive, right, you have only a couple of days when you can actually do something, and you are his last resort, nobody else can help him. And you say, you know what, no problem, I pay you for the deed, I buy the deed from you today, so you give him $10,000 for his deed, okay, you get a deed from him, okay, and now you're the owner of the property, but you still have this problem for $125,000 debt. What you can do is, if you have the money, $125,000, you can go to the court and pay it off, and then you have a clear title. Or if there is time to go, you can buy it from him and you can put it in the market, and from the proceeds just satisfy the debt to the court, making 3 or 4 or 5 times your money, even 6 times your money. Okay, so say for example I bought a property with equity. Okay, it's owed $125,000, property is worth $200,000, and I pay $10,000 for that property, for the deed. Okay, that means I pay $10,000, but I still owe what he was owing, $125,000. But he doesn't have the money to pay the $125,000 because he has to come with the full amount. Otherwise they won't negotiate, they won't release the case, they won't stop the foreclosure. The banks wants to get the property too, so they are proceeding, they're not giving up. But if I have the money, what I can do is I can buy the deed from him for $10,000. I can go to the court the next day and I can pay it off. And I bought a property for $135,000. Okay, if I have a buyer that wants to buy that property, I bought it for $10,000, then I sold it to that buyer for $190,000, let's say. Okay, from that $190,000, okay, we are gonna pay the $125,000 owed. Okay, so for that $190,000, we already paid the $125,000 owed. So basically, my $125,000 that we paid from the sale, it didn't come out from my money. My total investment was like $10,000, and we netted like $65,000 back. All right, so I make 5 times my money. If my total cost was $135,000, okay, and I sold it for $195,000, okay, I have about $65,000 left. Okay, after all of these transactions, so I'm making at least 5 times my money. On my $10,000, I'm getting back at least $50,000 to $60,000. So that's a great strategy also at the last moment to buy owners with equity, okay, who has no other thing to do, no other resort, and you just go and you buy the property and you either satisfy the debt or you just put it in the market and sell it and satisfy the debt from there. And if you are a wholesaler, that's even great because I'm sure you have buyers you can close quickly, and that's a great way to wholesale. So I want to show you the result that I'm getting here. I'm getting all the phone numbers that I found from these people. Usually the first number is very accurate. I already tested it, like maybe 85% of the time. And if I'm gonna go through the auction, I'm gonna see something I like, and then I'm gonna give this person a call and ask them if they want to sell their property. That's gonna make my processes very, very easy and increase my chances basically.